Trustee Grace, would you be kind enough to pull the roll?
Sure, thank you. John DeGrace is present. Dr. Gardner?
Present.
Linda Green?
Present.
Wanda Jackson?
Present.
Edward Powers is absent. Dr. Tooman is absent. Dr. Weiss?
Present.
Therese Russell?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the December 12th, 2012 minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need
Do we need six? We do.
Are we missing?
We are.
We are.
So we
We're going to have to hold this till
next month.
next month. Oh, okay. Thank you, Trustee Jackson. Okay, Trustee West, would you go through finance and capital?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the pending college procurement revenue agreement with Follett Higher Education Group as requested by VP Muscarella, Facilities and Management.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 6-0. Trustee DeGrace, would you be kind enough?
Okay, resolved upon the recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the pending college procurement agreement with Pioneer Landscaping and Asphalt Paving, Inc., in the amount of $12,224,000 plus 10% contingency of $1,224,400 as requested by Vice President Muscarella, Facilities Management, funding source capital project 70086 and 70092.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries. Trustee Jackson, would you be kind enough to?
Upon recommendation of the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees Finance and Capital Committee, the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees hereby approves the pending college procurement agreement with the Alliance Elevator Company, Unitech Elevator Company, in the amount of $2,033,900 plus a 10% contingency of the $203,390 as requested by VP Muscarella of the Facilities Management Department. Funding source capital project 70097.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 6-0. I'm going to make a motion under Article 8, Section C6 of the Board's Rules of Procedure to allow for the consideration of items that do not appear on the calendar.
I'll
Okay.
second that motion.
Is there any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any against? Motion carries 6-0. Trustee Russell, would you be kind enough to read the results?
Whereas, okay,
Yeah.
that the pending college procurement agreement with Nice Bus as requested by VP Academic Student Services Kanzati is approved by the Nassau Community College Board of Trustees Finance and Capital Committee and will be recommended to the full Board of Trustees for approval. Funding source operating.
So do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 6-0. Trustee Weiss, would you be kind enough?
My pleasure. Resolved that the Board of Trustees of Nassau Community College herewith authorizes the Chair of the Board of Trustees to execute an amendment to the employment agreement between the college and Dr. W. Hubert Keene, said amendment having been reviewed and approved by the members of the Board of Trustees.
Do I have a motion to consider this item?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Motion forward. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries 6-0. Can I have reports of the standing committees?
Other than policy, we'll have a policy for discussion at the next meeting.
Okay. Report from the President.
So the excitement of the academic environment is one of those, is that we start a new term and it's we get students enrolled and the teaching goes on. It starts next Tuesday. Our class is the first day of the new spring term next Tuesday. Our enrollment is variable. Every morning when I look at the new student report, I'm encouraged because we are as much as 10%, and sometimes it's gone upward from 10% over last year. It's also over the year before, so we're bringing in more new students this spring than we have for at least 2 years. That's encouraging. The fact is, though, that we're down by approximately 7% on continuing students on the overall enrollment. This is a great concern. The college has a very high retention rate for the first year. In fact, we rank in the top 4 SUNY community colleges by percentage of students who go into the September of their second year. But in the second year, we dropped to near the bottom, certainly among the last 4 SUNY community colleges in retention of students. And this is such a great problem for us. We're giving it more attention, as the college has been regularly. Vice President Collins and a group of administrators and faculty have been studying causes of the attrition, and we know reasonably well what some of those causes are. So we're planning to present to the campus within the next month a proposal to address a range of issues. This will not only address incoming students, the new students, and the issues about bringing them on board, the placement, the remediation, and so forth. Approximately half of our students are placed into remediation, so it's a very big and important group of students for us. But it will also address issues of degree completion and degree requirements, and so we want to make this a major issue for the spring. I want to commend the English department, its chair, Dr. Kathy Fagan, for taking another step to establish a pilot program for students in remedial English courses. The department already demonstrated success with a program, with a course called English 100, which takes a group of remedial students, and the program was quite successful in having them complete their English 100 and therefore go into credit-bearing courses more quickly. So this is a series of issues that we want to dedicate a lot of attention to during the spring term. I was very pleased to see that the State University of New York has formed a Hispanic Leadership Institute, and I'm pleased to report that 3 of our faculty and staff have been accepted into the Institute. Dean Jeanette Alvarez-Ortiz, Dr. Miguel Alonso, and Liz Iglesias are tomorrow starting a 1-year training program tomorrow starts a 3-day workshop, which is the first element of a 1-year program. They will also go for a 1-week training program in June, and there are variable other exercise, mostly not necessarily attending centralized meetings, but involving their work on the campus. The exception is Dr. Alonso, who will be engaging in a leave of absence for 6 months when he will be in residence at the State University Administration in Albany. And from there, he will be visiting some other SUNY campuses as a part of his program, which is a little different from the other 2. Next week, the the President's Cabinet will engage in an extended session, and we're focusing on the implementation of the strategic plan, which a great deal of work has gone into the developing this plan, and we didn't just do it because we were positioning ourselves to get the remediation, to get the Middle States accreditation and removed from the probation, but we did it because it's a plan for the future. There are several other plans that fit within the strategic plan, including things like enrollment and marketing, technology plan, and several others. So we're going to concentrate on that. One aspect of the plan, of our strategic plan, is that among the top 9 priorities, we have 9 specific stated priorities is to increase the diversity of faculty and staff on the campus. We hope to increase the diversity so that it mirrors more closely the population of our students, knowing that that's a very difficult goal to set. But as a part of our strategic planning process, we want to dedicate attention to the diversity issue, diversity of faculty and staff. So that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We're going to go to the speakers list, and we have Mr. Frank Frisender.
Frank Frisender, NCC. So this money, it's a notepad. I didn't know I was going to write anything. I only use the dollar bill, so I have to.
I was going to tell you we don't accept bribes.
Right.
In public.
And I would have given you a piece of paper.
I thank you, but it was like so quick. So I really, people asked me what I was going to speak about tonight. I said it depends on what kind of habit you read on us. So I just wrote down a couple of things. The question I had, there was something here, and I don't know if it's anybody's business, but you said something about Dr. Keene's amendment. All right, his employment, is it public what happened? Everybody's very interested in Dr. Keene's future.
There is going to be a public email that will be going out on all NCC shortly.
Okay, fair enough.
Will, I don't want to spoil any surprises.
No, fair enough. That's okay.
Is that a good response?
Absolutely. I will, bake the cupcakes and we'll see what happens. The thing I wanted to mention, and I'm glad you mentioned it about retention, Dr. Keene. I think this is an issue that the time has come that we have a really serious discussion about it, because I was just talking to my colleague here, Rich Newman, earlier today, without even knowing about this. Okay, and we were talking about what do we believe as a campus? What does retention even mean? What do we believe it means? I mean, for instance, if I have a class and I have students that don't stay in the class, they drop out, they fail. Well, okay, so they weren't retained in my class, but maybe they stay on the campus, or I said they don't leave the campus. But there has to be a micro retention effort. There has to be a macro retention effort, and I think that, and I'm happy to hear that this is a conversation that is probably going to begin on the campus. I think that's very important. And of course, I just want to say, I really do want to extend congratulations to Professor Alonzo, Liz Iglesias, and Jeanette Alvarez-Ortiz for getting into this institute, because I think when you say that the faculty and staff should mirror our student population, I think with the Hispanic student population growing as much as it is, I think any effort we make to increase our commitment to that population and the visibility of that population, especially in the day that, in these times that we live in, just finding out, yesterday what's happening with our El Salvadorian population here on Long Island. I think these are very trying times, and I think it's very important that we commit to the Hispanic population. So thank you. I'm happy to meet everybody.
Thank you. Okay, so the next Finance Capital Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 13th, 2018 at 5 p.m., followed by the full board meeting. The board will open public session between 6:15 and 6:30 and resume public session at approximately 7:30. I request a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:12.
History.